It's cold. It's
No, it's
freaking
beautiful
cold.
here, man. It's
No, it's
beautiful here
cold,
today.
and it's raining, and it's
Oh
cold,
no.
and it's miserable, and
No.
yeah.
No.
Oh,
We had a
yes.
nice, beautiful day. Sun was out, light breeze, kind of on the warmer side.
Are we 5
Um,
minutes in yet where I can tell you where to go?
no, not yet. But I can keep
Oh,
talking for 5 minutes and let you know how
yes, so I
beautiful it
can.
was around here today.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, because then we won't get in trouble, because I don't want
That's
to get in
right.
trouble.
Hey, Tin, let's do this.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to Tin TV. Did you miss us? It's Sunday, March 12th, 2023. Well, actually, two of the banks have already fallen, so I
are
guess
we
it's not.
in daylight savings or non-daylight savings?
Yeah, we're
You
in
are the same time as me.
Yes, same time.
We're
That's
synchronized.
why
And
this
you
seems
know what?
early for me.
You
This
know what's really
seems.
bad is I thought last night or tonight was gonna be that, and so I got all this stuff, and I was just like,
Sure.
my husband goes, no, it's tonight, babe," and I was like, "Ah, shit." Spent all that time sitting there pulling up stuff on it. Oh
Oh, it's
well.
not. It's tonight.
No, it was last night,
Mhm.
Yeah,
but
you
I
said it
thought
was
it was.
Saturday night.
I thought it was Sunday night. My husband alerted me that it was last night, but tonight's
Oh,
the Satanic Grammys. Yeah, they're going on.
oh. I'll
And
bet
then
you
of
there's not
course
many
Just a
people
second.
watching.
the banks. So the Simpsons predicted it, you guys.
What do you mean the bank is out of money? Insolvent? You only have enough cash for the next 3 customers. Hey,
wait a minute. Just a second here. No, I don't have your money here. It's in Bill's house and Fred's house.
Hey, what the hell you doing with my money in your house, Fred?
Oh, so you guys, that episode came out the day after
Last
tax day, April 15th, 1995.
that happened last century.
1995.
Last
19
century.
Yeah,
Good Lord, we're old.
good Lord.
I know that makes it sound older.
But they
Last
did let
century.
us know what they were doing.
Mhm.
Like
Jumpers.
That's just crazy. That's jumping. Jumpers.
And then I
But
also had this from Snafu Radio just telling a little bit about a few of the companies that were involved. But Jay also is going to correct one thing on it because he did look.
this goes huge. This Silicon Bank thing, guys, be careful. I hope everybody's prepared for it. It has the potential to go very, very, very south.
Mm-hmm. So here's a couple minute video from Snafu Radio. A lot of you guys follow him, and so do I. And he's listing 30 of the companies directly tied to SVB Bank crash, but there are more. And Jay's looking into the more. So here we go from Snafu Radio. I like you, Snafu. So I'm showing you stuff. Hope you're cool with it.
Well, hello, and how are you doing today? Well, no need to hang around. This is going to be a short one. And all you all already know, if you need help with your silver, just call me. It's all in the description. Tied
Really?
banks, list of 30 banks that are directly tied to SVC. And some people are going to be shitting their pants once they figure it out. Because SVC,
There's going to be a run on Depends
they're
now.
bidding on it right now. And it's all these commercial banks. I mean, all these commercial accounts. Basically, this account or this bank was set up for the uber rich. And you had to have like $250,000 to make to open an account.
Wrong. That was the wrong part. You didn't have to have 250 to open an account there.
Right, and he did say in the video that he could possibly be wrong, and Jay
No, I was just
checked it for us, you guys. So no, I'm not dissing on Snafu Radio for
no, not at all. Not at all.
Check false.
That's it.
What?
No big deal.
Fact check false.
Yeah,
If you're under 250,
I'm not sure on that.
You might have a chance
Quote
to
me,
get your
you
money.
could fact check me if I'm wrong, but I think it was just for
we did.
super rich people and all these rich companies, and they were tied in with all these startups. This is all Silicon Valley, right? So all these companies that are starting to get disclosed, because there's going to be a ton of them. But what it's going to tell you is people that were doing business with these companies, gee, I wonder if you're going to get your money out of them. But let's find out which ones have been tied directly to it. Coinbase. Oh, Coinbase. You know,
That's
they got
a
a
big
big
one.
chunk of money off in there.
That's
They
a
already
big
had
one, I think.
plenty of problems. DoorDash.
DoorDash.
TikTok.
Oh, no.
No, we're
Flow.
double D'ing it.
Plaid. Affirm. Etsy. Zoom.
Etsy, huge.
23andMe.
fuck
Airbnb. Oh, how many
Airbnb
people
is huge.
are doing the Airbnb? How many people are making money off Airbnb, renting their shit out? Tons of people. I know people on this channel been using Airbnb. They tell me. I was like, wow, really? You know, Airbnb, all those people, where's that money going to go? What's going to happen to it? Allbirds, DocuSign, Udacity, Betterment, Checker, Klarna, Margarita, Nerd Wallet. Ooh, Nerd Wallet. There goes a crypto wallet. Stripe, WeWork, Impossible Foods, Instacart, Patreon. How many people are putting money on Patreon? I wouldn't put another damn dollar into Patreon. I would be unsubscribing my shit from Patreon if I was a Patreon subscriber, which I am not. But all you people, you better start telling everybody Patreon. If you're throwing your money into Patreon, you just throwed it into a black hole. That shit is gone. Gone. Have a nice day.
Oh, isn't Patreon fans
Big
only?
Commerce,
Feet.
Farfetch, Lemonade,
Foot page.
Postmates.
Holy shit.
And so far, that is the list.
And that's just the beginning of it.
Fuck yeah,
But
this
a
is
lot
it's
of
just the
your
beginning.
So a lot of your pay apps, you know, I think are going to be involved on Monday, like your Venmo.
What about all the
PayPal and
single mommies I support on fans only?
well, on fans only, they might still
Patreon.
get their stuff, but Patreon.
I'm just
and then
kidding. I'm
and
totally
then
kidding.
if you're double D in it, you know, to get your
Hey,
Delta 8,
quit
you're
talking
not
about
gonna
my
get-
tits. Double D-ing it.
Yeah, if you're double D'ing it for your Delta 8, you're probably ain't gonna get paid this week. So yeah, I'd look for another gig.
Yeah, my feet's only fans page got canceled.
Kelly Ray said fans only. She's laughing. And hello, B. Mitch and Jeffrey Wild and
And to be
and
honest, I have no idea how fans only works. I have no idea. Never been on it. Never.
I
You can
don't
check
do
my
that
history.
Vicky's in here tonight. Dana.
Hello, Mr. Boswell.
Oh, and Lighthouse Sunshine. That's a new one. And
Right.
hey, and Venus Cupcake.
Hey, why don't you bring Jim Boswell? Drop that link for Mr. Boswell.
Jim
He was
Boswell.
talking some. He had put out a video today on what's going on with the banks and such and money.
Okay, Mr. Boswell, I'm gonna drop the StreamYard link for you. If anybody else tries to
Yes,
come up,
Jeffrey, it is Dad time.
like my stalker or something, you can't come up on my panel. Okay, just leave me alone. Okay, just leave me alone. Yeah, this is kind of weird. Like this whole
Wrinkled toes. No.
Ew.
No.
How do we get from
Gene
feet?
Holmes. I don't know.
It's Patreon. You and your.
I don't
You
have
and
a
your
Patreon.
foot fetish.
Yeah.
I do have, not really. I do like women's feet. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, that's weird. Don't say that out
Right.
on a public forum. Ooh.
Really?
Like now people are gonna clip at that shit and they're gonna be doing videos on you. I like feet.
Well, if you give them the fucking idea, Tim,
I
they will.
like big feet. And they do not smell.
Oh, they get it.
Oh, I
got
don't
the
give a
idea
shit.
as soon as you said it. No, but anyhow. So
Anyways,
so I dropped the link. Yeah.
Going to talk about this bank stuff. You guys, we've been I've been saying this for a long time. I pulled all my money out and put it in a safe place. And about a year and a half ago, because this was supposed to happen back then. Now it's happening. So, yeah, make sure you guys got something a little stashed if you got it.
Well, and hopefully you've been prepping and you've got things in case you can't, the stores aren't taking any cash, right?
I'm not rubbing feet. No.
See, I told you they would go after you for that.
I thought you would fall apart over DoorDash, but it's Uber Eats.
Yeah, that's right. See, competition failed, so Uber Eats is looking
and
really,
then
really good.
Janet Yellen did come out and say that Grandma Yellen's not bailing out.
She read a prepared speech.
Yeah,
she knew what the questions were and read out whatever her puppet masters told her to say.
I wonder if I can find that
talking head.
Well, it just came out a little bit ago that Signature, I don't know, I think it's Signature Bank in New York. I think it's out of New York, is gone.
Tits up.
And there's Mr.
Hey.
Boswell. And
hello,
Mr.
What's going on, Jim? How you doing, Jim?
Hey, thanks for having me up, Tim. Good to see Agent J, Krista Crafts, and my favorite hostess on the West Coasters.
Aww, love it.
Checked out your video a little bit ago.
Ever. I'm gonna have to go back and clip it for for promo. If that's okay, Mr. Boswell.
Yeah. Hey, Lake's here too. Good to see Lake.
Oh, good. Yeah,
hey, Lake.
She talked a little bit about this today too. So.
Oh, I missed that.
She's in New York. Is Signature Bank out of New York? She may know. She may not know.
Money, 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 money.
Oh, Ted, yesterday when you left Lake Show, I was talking to her and a few other people about it. Bubba News. It was nice to see him face to face.
Oh, we love Bubba.
He's a really good
amazing.
guy.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah.
Him and I have a lot in common.
That's so cool. Yeah, I've known Bubba now for, as far back as the original group I started with. Almost 4 years ago. Yeah, I've been doing this for years. I can't believe it. So here's Grandma Yellen stuff. It's real quick, and then I'm sure we want to talk about Grandma Yellen and Jim or Mr. Boswell. I know you're up on the finance, and that's why Mr. Agent J wanted you up here with too.
I just like hearing other people's opinions on what's going on because it's scary. It's scary.
So
prepared script.
Yeah,
it is.
Prepared. From the Silicon Valley bank collapse.
Watch her eyes. She's reading.
Biggest bank failure in U.S. history, and there are concerns about other regional banks too. Tonight, what the Secretary of Treasury is saying about a possible bailout. Is it on the table? ABC's Elizabeth Schulze is at the White House. Tonight, after Silicon Valley Bank's dramatic downfall, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen insists a government bailout is off the table.
During the financial crisis, there were investors and owners of systemic large banks that were bailed out. We're not going to do that again.
Regulators working all weekend to take steps to protect the failed bank's customers. The turmoil began Wednesday when Silicon Valley Bank tried to sell assets to boost its balance sheet. That panicked investors and customers who raced to withdraw funds. Amid a bank run, the FDIC on Friday took control. Now lawmakers want another bank to step in.
The best outcome will be, can they find a buyer for this SVB bank today before the markets open in Asia later in the day?
Well, you kind of pissed Elon off. He's not going to bail you out.
Yeah. And it's hard to buy you're buying futures on this because they're all startup companies. So they ain't making money. They're startup companies that are involved here.
Stephanie just texted me and said, I just looked it up. It's true. They are bailing them out. All uninsured investors will get their money.
That's $250,000.
So it's only
The insured the FDIC
And the
will pay.
Yep.
We'll pay $250.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's a $250 million limit.
That will go through. There's people in this bank that have more money than that. They're startup companies. They're Silicon Valley companies. What I'm worried about is if Ripple's involved in here.
Well,
So,
if they're Agent
Ripple,
Bank, if they're from what I've been able to find out, they're borrowing money from other banks.
Mhm.
Well, you know what's going to happen? The other banks are going to have the same problem.
Yeah, well, you're already seeing it. You have Signature Bank. You have people lining up already in LA. I forgot outside one Republic Bank or something. First Republic Bank. It could go down. I'm good because mine's out.
How are they going to blame this one on Trump?
Well, this is what I'm scared of, you guys, and seems different in a sense. I'm not worried about the money. I'm worried about all these potential future startup companies with technology that keeps us ahead of China. Did we now just set ourselves back in technology because there won't be any technology to be funded? I mean, you got to look at it from another side of the blade here. I mean, this could take us back, and who fucking knows how far the Chinese are?
She said the F word.
I did.
You're thinking about it the other. I'm thinking about the other fucking way. This is the switch to digital currency.
Plus, the startup companies have to borrow money.
There's too much
debt. It takes money to make money. Everybody knows that.
Yep. There's too much debt out there. And this is my question: is this the start of the transfer of our?
Well, it has to collapse before they can do the switch. So. This is the impetus to, well, it's going to fall like dominoes. We all know that. We've been talking about that for a long time. So this is the first domino to, not the first, but one of many to fall. And they're the quote unquote obscure little guys, right? Except they're not that little. And then what?
Oh, Lake Ferry said social credit scores or no money. And then Rose Young said, you're right. Here, I think your credit unions, your private banks are going to be okay for a while.
I don't know. A lot of them are back though by.
Yeah,
they all have their
fingers
in the same pot.
And if a bunch of it were somehow linked back to Bankman Fried.
And this bank is linked back to FTX.
Yeah, to FTX. Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
Majorly.
Sorry. And that's where I'm worried because
So then why did Grandma Yellen go to Yuki Land?
To give all our money away.
There is no money.
Exactly, because that's why they're going to
The day that this
default on it.
happened, she was on a flight to see Vladimir. No,
There's
sorry,
no-
not Vladimir.
No,
Voldemort. What the heck is
Voldemort, yeah.
Voldemort? Voltar, there he is.
And how does him and his wife end up on our Vogue magazines and shit? You know, I thought they're in a war.
Yeah,
They're-
there's
I don't
no
know.
money. There's no money, and that's why the U.S. We're already I think, Jim, is it June or July? The U.S. defaults on all their debt. June.
It's in June. Their goal is for the big banks to absorb the smaller banks. You figure, I don't want to come out and say the names, but the van company and the rock company, they control everything.
Mm-hmm. You're absolutely
and
right.
you're damned if you do. I have money in Vanguard. If anybody has any kind of retirement plan, my wife has some kind of John Hancock plan. It's still in Vanguard. It's just another name.
Yep.
I mean, there's nothing we can do about it.
No, there isn't.
And I've been saying this for 2 years. You put all the debt these banks has is $93 trillion. It's the fault of the money system. All money is created out of debt. We can never pay back the debt because of you figure when the banks first appeared in this country, people borrowed money from the bank. The easiest way to explain it is like when my grandfather taught economics at our son's college. Say you have a bank and it lends 10 people $10, and at the end of the year, each person has to pay back $11 because there's $1 interest on 10%. Well, the only way they can pay, the only way everybody can pay back the interest is to borrow more money from the bank. So it just goes deeper and deeper and deeper. It's because the money is not the money. We ought to have a set amount. What they've done now in Russia is they have a certain amount of money in circulation. That's it, and it's all backed by gold. Plus, the transfer of wealth that's been going on in this country since the 70s with us buying foreign oil. That's one reason why they took us off the gold standard and why Johnson took us off the silver standard and got rid of the currency.
So with you saying that, I believe what's going now is the switch back to that gold standard and the silver standard.
I hope and pray.
This is what if you're looking at a good side of this, that could be what happening. Not saying it is, because I sure the fuck don't, and I'm not giving anybody advice.
Digital currency.
But digital currency. So, and it's not just happening here, guys. It's happening all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I keep saying that. I keep saying that because I don't want people to focus on what's going on here with our banking system. It's happening all over Europe, all over Asia. It's breaking down.
That's what's bad. That's what's really bad about our country, this global economy. Because everything is just connected. If a person says, that we should just keep everything in the U.S. It's like I've been saying, all the money is being transferred. Look at all the millions, billions that have gone to Saudi Arabia, every country in the Middle East for oil. In some ways, this country would have been better off having an isolation policy, which we kind of did before World War II.
Oh, yeah. But what would it also kept it down? What exacerbated this thing was cutting off our oil, cutting off our natural gas, inflation going skyrocket, and raising our fucking interest rates. That's what's causing this. And the Feds just came out and said they're going to raise it again.
It's being done on purpose. This is hard to get back to what you and Tim, especially what Tim said earlier about these startup companies. Well, how can somebody borrow money at that higher rate to start a company up? They can't.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
They're lending it.
How are we not going to be able to have people get involved in our technology other than our does this mean only the government will do it? I mean, we can't have bright people in their backyards, in their garages, and making technology and maybe saving us? I mean, I don't know.
I agree. That's what I think they want. We have to. The one company we have to keep an eye on this week is NVIDIA. They have their stocks went down. I said, I forget whose show it was. Their stocks lost 3/8 of its value. It had to do with Nervous Nancy and all that and buying stuff. And the government put a hold on what they could sell to China. but NVIDIA is the leader in artificial intelligence. Well, first of all, I still don't understand exactly how a chip can do everything it does. But they're the leader in artificial intelligence with chip technology. If their stock goes up, it's going to confirm what I've been thinking.
So can we just back up for a second? So then if Grandma Yellen has backtracked and now is saying, hey, yeah, we're going to bail your butts out, isn't that something that the Senate has to do?
No. Grandma Yellen is saying your FDIC, we're backing up our FDIC, not beyond any more bailout.
Yeah, well, that's a no-brainer. She doesn't even have to announce that.
Well, no, she has to announce that because of the budget, the books on the FDIC part of it is $125 billion. That's what they have in cash on their books. So
well, then when does it become the Senate's job to say yay or nay to any of this? Because the ceiling's been capped, right? There is no. You're maxed out, just like we're maxed. Like everybody's maxed out now.
If they bail it out, it's on debt. We're bailing it on fucking debt, and you're talking billion. Well, we're just handing out. Look how we've been handing billions out, right and left to every country. Oh, you need 45 billion here. It's just too much. It doesn't make sense. They're collapsing this shit on purpose.
So then the next question I have is, okay, all those CEOs and all the bigwigs, they already billed their own butts out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they got bonuses just hours.
And they gave bonuses like hours before they shut it down. Okay, so then that's not breaking the law. They don't have to like pony up for their mistakes. It's like if you run a business and you screw it up, that screw up is on you. For ruining the business. So they ran a business, they made a mistake. Why don't they have to pay?
They should, but I don't know.
I don't know how that works, but they did. They paid themselves and got the fuck out of there.
Yeah, I know, but that's not what I mean. I mean the opposite end, right?
But that's the way they think.
That's the way they act. That's also, actions speak louder than words.
Well, maybe there was something buried in a bill somewhere, kind of like what Reagan did, because they tried to take him out, and not to lunch, like Monograph would say. And remember, he was the one that signed the bill that we couldn't go after pharmaceutical companies for, little things that would happen with the jab. Maybe there was something put into a bill about this banking a long time ago we don't know about.
Well, in the FDIC
communist. Sorry.
Ooh, I don't. Oh, I got a question for you, Jim. Real quick. Yeah. It's from AB. He's looking for verification. I don't have the answer. He was told if your account gets hit in a bank, FDIC has 9 years to get your insured money to you.
I'm not sure the exact amount of time, but they do have quite a bit of time to do it. Well, several things. First of all, when the FDIC runs out of money, just going back to what you said earlier, Agent J, they're going to have to pass a law and put this in federal spending because we're
right.
And that's where the Senate comes in. Like, when is it that the Senate?
They're going to have to pass a law. It'll be in the next budget. And another thing that concerns me, I remember back in the 80s. Dreyfus liquid assets. I put some money in that in retirement when I was a young man. Well, Dreyfus liquid assets, they went under. It's similar to what happened with Silicon Valley Bank. They were the owners were taking money out of the pension plans. It took them years to straighten that stuff out. Then when they went under, you were paid basically pennies on the dollar for your pension plan.
Right. That's the same thing what's going on now with our government. They're paying we're paying the government employees out of the government pension plans right now. That's how we're surviving. We're broke.
Well, and we're also sort of like unicorn country because their pensions over there need to be taken care of too, right?
Oh, we're paying those. We're paying them.
We're paying.
But what's happened, like Jim just said. Like Jim just said, right? You can survive it for a while, but at the end,
how long?
Bite you in the ass.
Not only that, but for the 9 years that it takes for them to get their butts in gear, what are you eating? Dirt?
Well,
Yeah.
and like Grace says, no one went to prison in 2008. Let's go back and see what the common denominator was. There was a potato there. He was VP. These things just don't happen just because. I mean, he's like a fungus, kind of like the whiskey fungus that's growing down in Kentucky from the Jack Daniels whiskey. We'll talk about that one later, too.
Everything I've learned got passed down from my grandfather and my dad, because my grandfather taught economics at Ursinus College after he was at the University of Pennsylvania, and he started predicting this stuff when he was teaching. What he saw what happened in 1913. He was born in 1888. My grandfather. He went through World War I. He was lucky to survive. When he saw what they did in 1913, creating the Federal Reserve, and saw what Woodrow Wilson did, he saw this country was going towards socialism, and he was absolutely right. We're just printing money out of thin air, and it can't keep going.
Exactly. It cannot keep going, and we'll see what happens.
So
now,
then the next point is, and I'm sure somebody's already mentioned it in chat, my favorite, Jacera and Sarah.
I think. Wait. Hold on. Here's what I think. My opinion on Jacera and Sarah. Maybe some of it, not all of it. Maybe there's some of it. I believe can fix our financial system completely, because it's not just our financial system. Again, I'll use the whole world financial system. If you're backed by gold, all these countries have been buying gold. Russia, everybody's China, gold. They've been backing up gold. If you go back to the gold standard on a digital dollar, I think that's what's possibly going to happen. Don't know. That's what I hope happens.
And the thing is, if people start panicking and these banks run out of money, I could see the National Guard stepping in.
Oh, yeah, even the military in front of the banks, like in Mexico, with banana clips down to their knees. In Guadalajara, I was like, wow, is that like standard in the middle of the day? And it's like, yep.
Yep. It was when I got off the airplane in Cancun, man. I was like, holy shit, there are trucks everywhere. Cool. Sean's like, are we in the right place? I'm like, yeah, just keep walking.
Yeah, I thought it was in a third world
Quit looking too white.
I went to Guadalajara. I was like, wow.
I'm like, yeah, quit looking too white. Come on.
Look at all the problems we're having with Mexico. If Trump was president right now, I think we would just go in there. We would declare war in Mexico. The drug cartels are running the entire country. And the thing is,
but Jim, you got to admit they do have a little bit of class. You know, the boys that killed the Americans last week. That wasn't cool. We're sending them back, and we got a note with an apology. So the cartels are trying to show they got a little class, and they stick.
Remember,
to
you only got 2 people back.
No, I think we got 6 back, didn't we?
No, didn't we get 2 and the other 2 they killed?
Oh,
are you talking those?
I mean, the six cartel members that were sent back by the cartel that got in trouble, and like I said, there was a note that was on the window.
I didn't hear that
window. Yeah, I saw the thing on Twitter, but the cartel said, they don't condone this. This wasn't, and that they're sending them back to us so we can. Isn't that nice? They got rules.
Oh, that's super nice.
Look at the evolution of the drug situation. When I was a teenager, all the drugs are coming from Mexico. Okay, it was weed.
Yeah,
okay, who cares? It's weed. But now people weren't dying from weed; they're dying from fentanyl.
And now fentanyl laced weed. Even.
Well, fentanyl is because the opioid trade dried up because.
We got rid of Afghanistan.
Yep.
That's where we were growing it for the last 20 years.
Yep. The poppy fields. Yep.
That's all that was about. And when Afghanistan, we got out of there, okay, a lot of shit went down wrong. But the Afghanis, they went and burned those fields first thing. But they did go back into time with their rules and the women ran.
Yeah, that 3-letter agency is the biggest drug trafficker in the world, or was.
Yeah. The one that begins with a C?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Matter of fact,
I had a customer buy a Christmas tree, a DEA agent, and he kind of went into detail. I mean, everybody here knows what's going on. It's like we're trying to stop the drug trade, and who's behind all this stuff? Our own government.
Our own government.
Yeah.
We were talking about this the other night, actually, and we said, this is such a sensitive subject because nobody likes to hear criticism of themselves, right? Nobody likes to have the finger pointed towards themselves. They'd rather point.
Krista, be
I know they'd rather
careful.
point the finger in another direction, and the thing is that so many shenanigans are going on right now by so many countries, and yet the fingers are going to Russia, and China, but nobody's looking at themselves.
They're coming here.
Look
what's happening in France. Look what's happening in the Netherlands. Look what's happening all over the world.
Krista, they just passed the blame around. A good person makes a mistake. They admit. These people just somebody else is the one that created the problem. Everything going on in this world that's bad, it's either going to be blamed on Trump or Russia.
Well, let's circle back. This whole bank, how are they going to turn this bank thing on Trump? They're going to. They're going to try. I'm trying to figure out how. What are they going to use?
Well, they're trying to go after him over Stormy Daniels, and the statute of limitations has ran out.
She's an old washed up porno chick. She ain't even relevant. Once you get into your 50s or your 40s, hang it up, hookers and porno chicks. Yeah, the dudes don't want to see that after 40. Hang it up, girls. Hang it up.
There's some stickers out there probably that do that.
Gravity's getting them at that age.
It's funny.
But they're trying to be honest,
Yeah, I know, Tim. Yeah.
So,
honest kitty.
If someone gets blackmailed, you don't prosecute the person that paid the blackmail money. You go after the blackmailer.
Well, it's kind of like the IRS now. They want to know. They want you to put down if you stole something, how much it was worth, and
right. If you were incarcerated and you
Come
stole
on,
something, yeah, you have to go back and pay the tax on the theft.
They want the taxes on how you got to tell them how much it was that you stole.
If somebody's selling illegal drugs, they think they're going to tell them and pay the taxes on it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, this whole thing, like I know we're all tomorrow night show. I don't know. We're probably going to call it Doom Monday. And I guess we'll have a list of more banks tomorrow. Just get ready. Make sure your car's got gas in it.
Because we should already be prepared and not have to go out there and fight these banks.
But
how long can you be prepared for? Like, so then the banks tank, and then now you're looking at 9 years later.
Okay,
tin can't store that many number 10 cans.
Nope, I only got a year's worth.
And don't forget, all these places aren't taking cash anymore.
Well, that's where my husband said, "Don't worry, honey, you can use your credit card tomorrow." And I'm like, "Are you sure?" And he goes, yeah, you'll be okay. And I'm thinking, okay.
If people's bank assets get frozen,
that's digital.
Yeah, but if people can't access their bank accounts and their assets are frozen, the next thing that's going to happen is going to be the credit card.
Sniffer.
Oh, yeah.
Discover isn't doing very good financially.
No.
All I know is I made sure I got my tank filled up. That's all I care about is because everything else I'm okay, but I don't store gas, and I probably should. And we've all been talking about storing gas and how to do it and rotate it. But, when your husband's not involved and you're doing all the preps, it gets a little difficult for a little kitty like myself, I can only do so much.
Well, I got fuel oil stored for my tractors in case something happens and I can't run the Kubotas. But how much you store?
Right.
But how much can you realistically store and then have to try to use it in enough time to be? I mean, that's the whole thing with some things. It's in this prepping. It can be a little tricky.
Well, fuel oil with diesel is going to last longer than gasoline because of the alcohol that's in it.
Yeah, but there are people who live in apartments. There are people who live in condos. There are people who, you know.
At my house, I went with natural gas. I got a tank on the side of the house, a bomb.
I got one of those too.
Then if somebody got a big tank outside to store diesel fuel, and you'd have to be concerned somebody doesn't just pull in there and steal the gas.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just telling you that we don't have to worry about cow farts if we all live on rice and beans, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then we're
going to eat our Lumi for sure.
Yeah. Well.
Lumi. Hey, everybody out there. Say hi to everybody out there. Hey.
Yeah, we got...
You guys can hit the like thumbs up. Please hit the thumbs up. We're not asking for coffee. We're not asking for nothing. All we ask is a thumbs up. I appreciate it.
See, we've been visited by a couple of real gems tonight, so I think, you know, this is the other thing is that people are losing their minds. Do you notice it? Like everybody is starting to become unglued all of a sudden. And we jokingly talked about the zombie apocalypse, but I think that with some of them, not all of them, that got the special sauce in that little syringe, they've lost their shit. And it doesn't make sense. It's like their thinking process is whacked. It's absolutely whacked. And
perfect lead in to people who lost their shit.
Yeah.
The one in California.
Well, yeah, the one in California. But before we go to the one in California, I want to talk about what happened in Redmond, Washington on Friday. And I'm bringing this to everybody's attention because now that our channel is starting to grow, I have a personal stalker to the channel. On Thursday night of last week in Redmond, Washington, a podcaster that had been stalked by a gentleman that was a truck driver out of Texas decided to make good on his promises. He went in and broke into the home and killed the podcaster and the podcaster's husband. This shit's getting really serious on the internet as far as people losing it and wanting to try to hurt people. This woman actually had a restraining order that was supposed to go into effect on the 17th this week.
They also had security system around their house, the extra surveillance cameras around the house. They had I think it was her mother living staying there visiting, and she survived.
Yeah, she got out of the house and she was fully aware what was going on too. But this is hitting really close to home, you guys. This is my state. This is about 2.5 hours away from me. This is like 30 minutes from my parents' house. The point is that we're on the internet.
Why don't you just put up your address and throw it on Google Maps for us so we can see exactly where you live?
They already know I live in Washington. The point is this shit has got to stop. And everybody on my channel now knows that I have this stalker. So a stalker, everyone knows. So let's just stop this because people got to stop. Yeah, people. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Exactly.
Oh, can I completely...
Okay, but now I have another even weirder story, okay? This was a standoff that started on Friday night, you guys. Thing that I thought was really weird was on Friday morning, there was one in Florida where a gentleman standoff killed all of his family and himself. Well, then this one happened later on that day in Valinda, California. And a gentleman apparently... shot out of his house. The cops came. He barricaded in for the last 48 hours. They just got him out a few hours ago. I want to show you some footage, and this doesn't look. There's some screaming. Something ain't right here.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, this was a long, long weekend for a lot of people who live around here. Let's go on up to Skyfall to give you an idea of what it looks like down on the ground on the street where all this happened. This is Wing Lane. This started Friday afternoon, just after.
We're going to stop this right here. Okay, so this gentleman was barricaded in his house for the last 48 hours. You tell me that he was doing nothing but ripping his roof up? Do you realize that everything is coming from the inside out? It also goes clear up to the very point of the roof. Can you touch the point of your roof up in your attic without a ladder? I don't think something in that home was something natural. And maybe that's why we're over in the Ukraine getting out the laboratories, because I think this is something like, ooh, this does not look right. Just look at the house.
So there was one person barricaded in that house.
One person.
Okay. And that was for 2 days.
For
one
2
person,
days.
2 days. And the one person was able to do this while he was in the house.
Now look at right here. Doesn't it look like the wall had been punched out by a gigantic something? Look at it's coming out. And then look, they even had little robots throwing grenades, those little smoke clouds and then why are these guys painting behind him while he's talking? This is not 2 days. 2 days.
2 days, one person.
One person, and you're gonna spend all that time trying to bust out your roof to get away from the cops. No.
Because it did look like when on the roof everything was coming out from the inside.
Yeah.
It didn't look like it was caved in.
What if it was a shapeshifter? What if it was a super soldier? That don't look normal. And
interesting to find out what happened.
Yeah. And we're waiting to find out on this story, but let's see if there's any more here.
Well, some people become obsessed over someone.
Sheriff Luna says the man in the house has an extensive criminal history.
Somebody that
I don't
is
know.
no stranger to law enforcement contact, and that's what we're dealing with.
This, while neighbors are trying to keep their sanity.
It's just been scary because it's literally 3 houses down from where we're at.
Since Friday, Vanessa Chavez and her family have been getting help at a Red Cross shelter set up for residents at Workman High School.
I got home from school on Friday and I haven't been able to get inside my house.
I live 2 houses down.
Eric Torres remembers hearing the gunfire. When you heard the shots, what'd you do?
I ducked down.
Some residents have been asking why it's taking so long to deal with the suspect. The sheriff says he and the LAPD that's assisting want a safe outcome.
We have members of our hostage negotiation team.
Why are they painting right behind him
for hours and hours?
But it didn't have a safe outcome. The dude shot himself, right?
To try.
As for Vanessa Chavez, her family, and all of the other families displaced during this standoff.
We just wish it was all over already, Yeah.
Who are the hostages?
Well, it does appear to be all over now. The investigators have gone in. There's that whole process now of unturning evidence, trying to figure out exactly what happened, why it happened. George Valdez is a chief with the LA County Sheriff's Department. And, of course, as we know, the residents around here are just besides themselves. What do you want to say to them?
Well, we appreciate their cooperation and understanding in this situation.
Looks like a nice man.
Priority is the safety of the public and personnel involved. We do have 7 families, approximately 20 people that were at the Red Cross. We've been tending to their needs, escort them to get medication. We even saved the dog from one of the areas to get them out. We're working on a repopulation plan to get the residents back into their homes, hopefully within the next hour or so, but we're obviously still in investigative mode.
Sure, of course. And we've heard from some residents that they slept in their cars overnight.
That's our understanding. We made every effort to get to those families, to get into with the Red Cross, get vouchers for a hotel or some other location. But we didn't know about some of those families. They kind of went off to a different area. But the families we did make communication with, we've been in constant communication with the liaison, and we're helping them out.
And just
so anyhow, If you go
How
back,
tall is the suspect? Who are the hostages?
no hostages.
They said hostages.
Yes, they did.
Oh,
Yeah,
they did.
that's what
Okay.
that's what I
Yeah,
said.
heard.
That's what I was trying to verify. Is there one person in this house? Or
Not
did
only
he
that,
have?
but this guy is a hoarder. Look at the exterior of the home. That damage to the roof is not. That didn't happen in the last 48 hours. That's been done over time. And the same thing with the wall. But look at the garbage on the side of the house. This person's a hoarder. This is a mentally ill individual. So I wouldn't. You say there's more to it. I wouldn't make
I don't know.
assumptions.
Nothing's off the table because I think there's super soldiers and I think there's chimeras all over.
I do. I
Maybe.
don't believe in that there couldn't be, because Jeffrey Epstein wanted to be another one of those I want to populate the world peeps, crazy people.
When you get people that get obsessed with someone like that, that's when dangerous situations occur.
I just can't believe that. Like, the world's going cray, and there's a lot more. Oh, and AB wants to come up. Let me grab
Trigger warning! Trigger warning! Space lasers! Space lasers!
Space lasers. We're dropping.
I like that one. That one's cool.
What's good for all the females to be armed and know how to use a weapon?
Not if you're in Canada.
Hey, nothing's off the table, okay? I don't know. There could be super soldiers. I mean, they've been doing a lot of creepy stuff underground for a long time, so.
It's good to have a large guard dog.
Steven, thanks for coming, brother.
And AB, I did drop the link, but hurry and come up because we're getting ready to. We're only doing an hour tonight.
They need a purr. Everybody wants a purr before AB comes up.
Oh, okay, definitely. We can always make
that sounds like a pretty big cat pen.
BUSHCRAFT did that one for me. And AB, hello, Light Lord of Truckers.
Light Lord.
I've been listening quietly, lurking.
Naked, the ladies assume.
Oh, please tell me you got clothes on. Please.
I am up. I am fully
I don't want to know
clothed.
about that. No, don't want to know about that. Are you dressed?
Yes, I'm fully clothed.
Thank you. I can breathe now.
Well, 10 bashed me really hard a minute ago. She said, if you're over 40, you got to quit being a porn star. And
yeah, over 40. Yep.
That was my side gig.
No
lot lizard.
No lot lizard.
Hey, this bank failure's ruined my whole fans only foot page. So
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if PayPal and Venmo are going to go down tomorrow or not.
Yeah.
Well, somebody asked that. There was another question. I think a lady named Deanna said, what can I prepare for? It was kind of.
That's Steve. Was Stand Up Humbled or
No. This lady's name was Deanna, something with a P.
Okay.
And a lot of people responded to her question. I mean, and I was basically going to say it's kind of late in the game. We've said this, but simple stuff. You need a way to defend your family and food and water and shelter.
Yeah, flashlights.
Beans and rice.
I don't know. I seen comments that it looked like trolls. Y'all are fear mongering or whatever. Well, we're giving the facts. This is what I told my son.
Can't stick your head in the sand forever and talk about lollipops and lovelies.
This bank seizure
this is real.
Yes,
this is real.
Is it going to get worse? Yet to be determined.
It has the potential. That's what I said. This has a very good potential to lead to way worse things.
There's a lot of things, a lot of factors in play. What I can tell you,
I want to know who the real owner of this banking system that went down the tube. I'd like to know who the real owners are.
Peter Thiel had a lot to do with it because that little sucker, he's the one that triggered the crash. As far as I'm from what I am reading. Peter Thiel is not our friend. Trust me. He wants you on the quantum dot and everything else.
The other owner of Home Depot besides Arthur Blank, he had an article on Fox News, much I hate mainstream media, but it was a good one. He said, woke people get hit by these woke banks. Sorry. That's kind of what he said to a certain extent. But trucking is moving, and I've said this and stated this. It's a struggle. It's tough right now. I don't know how much longer my lease driver is going to make it. It's just the cost of doing business, the fuel cost, the parts. Trucks are moving. It was kind of slow when I delivered it. It's a distribution center, kind of slow. Not going to freak people out, but it was Sunday. Sunday slow. Friday looked a little slow. Usually there'd be 2 or 3 waves of trucks coming in there to get unloaded. And I think I only saw Friday maybe 2 waves.
But you'll all get your chicken nuggets for lunch all week long. They'll be there.
We're picking them up tomorrow. We're headed to the prison. And Krista, that should be on your need to have list. You need a big bag of
nuggies.
Prison nuggies.
Yeah.
Yep.
Prison nuggies.
That is in your must have prep bag.
No shivs
Look-out
included.
bag.
Well, stock up on canned fish, salmon, chunk like tuna, jack mackerel, sardines.
Protein rice.
Pickled herring.
No.
Did you thank the sponsor, Tim?
No, I haven't had a moment to do that. So.
Well, here it is.
I'd like to take a moment to thank the sponsor of this channel, God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. Thank you, Father, for bringing us together on another Sunday pre the bank falls. You know what's going on, so yeah. Please protect our children, Father, and our churches and our Bibles, but most of all, protect us all right now. Protect our banking accounts, please, Father, and protect us all from those that want to hurt us emotionally, physically, intellectually, and spiritually. As it is done in Jesus' name, it will be done.
Amen.
Amen. I got one person who said pickled herring is yummy.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. The other threw up in their mouth. Everybody else threw up in their mouth.
So good.
Well,
Yeah.
guys, I'm
You
gonna
probably smell like, that's gotta reek.
Read Matthew 24 chapter and Mark 13.
Those be good. So I'm gonna end this here, you guys, because tomorrow night we're gonna be back for Doomsday Monday, and
we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Yeah, and we're gonna go in the back here and talk a little bit about some of this shit, and then I'm gonna be watching everything tomorrow, and I know Jay will be. So be here tomorrow night, Pacific Standard Time at
Pay
8 o'clock,
attention.
and pay attention, and thanks, Mr. Boswell, for coming up, and AB.
I love talking to everyone here.
Mr. B was slinging it tonight. He was on point.
That's right. Hit that thumbs up, guys, and subscribe. And also, if you like what's going on here, what we do over on Telegram is kind of the same thing. People just drop everything they can find. And over on Tinfoil
Try to make sure it's factual too.
At Tinfoil TV on Telegram and Planet Neutral on Telegram. And there's also Tinfoil TV on Rumble. She's just posting things up right now because there may be a chance we're going over to Rumble here soon.
Yeah, really soon.
So, appreciate y'all. Please hit the like button and thumbs up. No coffee. Don't buy us a coffee. We don't need coffee. We're good.
Eat more chicken.
And eat more tacos. Not chicken tacos. Shredded beef. Shredded beef tacos. Okay.
There you go.
Taco.